Long before the Jaru came, humanity believed death was an end. We buried our loved ones in the earth, whispered prayers to the stars, and let grief shape the hollow spaces in our chests. When the Jaru arrived, beings of living crystal and cold radiance, they did not come to trade or conquer. They came to cleanse. In their eyes, life was a chaotic infection that needed to be sealed and silenced forever, so the universe could return to its pure vibration. Their ships hovered in orbit like translucent knives, slicing beams of violet energy into our cities. They turned skyscrapers to molten rivers, forests to glass plains. When their foot soldiers descended, they carried no weapons. They carried slabs of mirrored stone. As they marched across burning fields and crumbling streets, they planted these slabs wherever they found survivors. The slabs spread an impossible field, a force that folded Earth into a permanent stasis cocoon. Each time it struck, an entire community vanished beneath an iridescent tomb, sealed away as if they had never lived at all. In a matter of weeks, entire continents vanished. The Jaru called this the silencing, and their broadcasts dripped with serene pity. Be still, transient ones. Your echo disturbs the song of the void. You will find perfect peace in the eternal hush. But they underestimated the human soul, the ragged, defiant ember that refuses to be snuffed out. I remember the night we felt the first tomb rise over New Rio. We huddled beneath the last remaining subway station, our breath misting in the dark. Above us, the crystal field devoured the city block by block. An old woman named Sophia was the first to rise. Her voice, raspy from years of singing fado in dockside bars, began to hum. Just a note at first, tremulous, shaky. Then her son joined in, a deeper harmony. Then a child. Then another. In the stifling dark, a song grew, a raw, aching anthem of lost loves, of laughter echoing down old stairwells, of midnight kisses under cheap neon. Of all the tiny miracles that make a human life. We sang not to survive, but to remember. Above, the Jaru forces paused. Their crystalline minds flickered in confusion. These beings, why did they refuse silence? Why did their vibration resist sealing? When the tomb finally closed over New Rio, our voices did not stop. Through the stasis crystal, faint as ghosts, the song lingered. It traveled along fracture lines, humming in the Jaru's perfect void like a hairline crack in their cosmic silence. Other tombs across Earth began to echo too. From Tokyo's buried arcades to Nairobi's sunken rooftop gardens, human voices wove into a stubborn symphony. In frozen Paris, a pianist pressed her fingers to the tomb wall, and though no keys lay before her, the movements summoned phantom chords that vibrated into the world beyond. In Mumbai, dancers stomped beneath the last metro arch, leaving ghostly footprints in the crystal that pulsed with each beat. The Jaru panicked. Their sealer architects shrieked through their mind links, calling for more force, deeper tombs, stronger null fields. But everywhere they went, the song had already woven itself into the folds of reality. Our graves glowed from within. Instead of muting us, the tombs became vast resonating chambers, living cathedrals amplifying our defiance to the stars. I led one final group beneath the ancient salt flats, where survivors had gathered in secret. We carried old radios, broken violins, and a battered megaphone powered by a dying solar battery. The Jaru's final push came in a storm of violet light. As they bore down, I raised the megaphone and screamed the opening lines of an old sea shanty my grandmother taught me. The waves will roar, the winds will cry, but my heart will not bow low. Our voices collided with the incoming silence like wildfire against rain. The Jaru could not comprehend. Their empire, built on stillness and order, had no words for joy that survives beyond death. They began to fracture, cracks webbing across their crystalline shells. One by one they shattered, shards drifting into the void, each one carrying a flicker of human song. When the dust settled, Earth was a graveyard of shining tombs. But within each crystal dome, voices continued, some soft, some roaring, all unbroken. Those who survived outside began to emerge from bunkers and caves, gathering at the shimmering tombs like pilgrims before sacred relics. They pressed their palms to the crystal, felt the low thrum of voices inside, and began to sing back. New choirs formed in every crater and valley. Across the moonless nights, music rose in waves, echoing from tomb to tomb. Even children born after the war learned the songs, voices too young to remember the Jaru, but fierce enough to carry our spirit forward. We became a planet of singers, each voice a lifeline thrown to those entombed. And though many of us would never again see the ones we loved, their melodies answered us in the night. They sealed our graves. but we sang beyond the tomb. And somewhere in that echo, we proved something even the Jaru could not deny, that a human soul cannot be silenced, and that even in death, we are a song the universe can never forget.